So do not plan a long future. Allah alone knows this will add to your depression. As I was mentioning, brothers, the greatest contributing factor to depression, Allah's qasam, is guna. There is nothing that will depress a man more than sin. Nabi alayhi salam says in the hadith, Inna sidqa tamanina. Today we find a person, we are living in such a promiscuous society. Such promiscuity, it is inconceivable. I was listening to a radio program back home in South Africa, and they were talking about, having an affair with strange woman. And this particular, I don't know if you can call him a human, but anyway, he phones in and he speaks about his experiences, and he says, well, I had relation with 1,000 women. People actually started calculating his age, and they even made a joke, and they said, I think you possess a weapon of mass destruction. That is a weapon of mass destruction. 1,000 women? Such a promiscuous society we are living in. And there is no joy. Allah's qasam, the greatest thing is sin. Nabi alayhi salam said, Inna sidqa tamanina. Listen to the words of Nabi alayhi salam. Honesty provides tranquility. Honesty in your dealings, in your interaction, provides divine happiness, joy, satisfaction. Now extend the realms of that hadith. Broaden the scope of that hadith. Let's extend the explanation. Explore that hadith. Honesty, piety, integrity, loyalty, fidelity provides divine happiness, joy and satisfaction. And Nabi alayhi salam says lies, sin, vice provides restlessness, uneasiness, depression, frustration. Ask a man pursuing an unlawful relation. My wife mustn't get hold of my phone. Whoever is at the door, run quickly. I better see who's coming. He's constantly, he's on his nerves all the time. Nobody must come to know my wrong. The depression that results out of that sin. The nature of the devil is, and this in particular I want to address to my youth. The Quran speaks about this here. That when the devil provokes a person towards a sin, and he paints the picture that you make zina and you will be happy. You take the spill and that will be the end of pain in your life. And that is it. كَمَثَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ إِذْ قَالَ لِلْإِنسَانِ اكْفُرْ كَمَثَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ إِذْ قَالَ لِلْإِنسَانِ اكْفُرْ فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ قَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنْكَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ فكان عاقبتهما أنهما في النار خالدين فيها وذلك جزاء الظالمين. The similitude of the devil when he incites and provokes you to a sin. Now when a devil provokes you to a sin, then he plans the sin for you. He also answers all the possible leak outs of the sin. That if you come late, what you'll tell your wife? No, you can tell her you got delayed at work. On the way, if this happened, all the apparent falls and loopholes that perhaps could be a setback, the devil answers everything. Instantly the mind is running. The devil is flowing. The sin is vivid before him. He's got a choice, either he does it or not. It looks very tempting, very appealing, very convincing, if I do it, this is what I actually need in my life. It will be the end of this depression and tiredness and fatigue and whatever else it is. A beautiful massage, by gentle hands. What more do I need? So the devil provokes him up. And the devil says, do it, and I'm with you, all the way. And look here, after all, when the brothers of Yusuf intended killing Yusuf, then immediately at that time, and I'm going to tell you something very important, listen to what I got to say, brothers. At that particular moment, the devil told them, وَتَكُونُوا مِن بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. That you commit this act, you kill your brother out of jealousy. Out of jealousy, kill your brother, get rid of him. يَخْلُ لَكُمْ وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ. The focus of your father will then be exclusive on you. And after the sin, after all, Allah is forgiving. If you won't commit sins, who will Allah forgive? Scholars explain, to think of the mercy of Allah prior to committing a sin. To think of the mercy of Allah prior to committing a sin is like saying, burn yourself. I've got an ointment for burnt fingers, so burn yourself. I bought this ointment. If I'm not going to burn myself, who's going to use this ointment? So let me burn myself. Let me burn myself. I bought it here in case something happens, so let me burn. That is not the time to reflect on the mercy of Allah. Scholars explain, if a person ponders over the mercy and the forgiveness, the kindness and the tolerance, the respite and the clemency of Allah, prior to perpetrating a sin, his minor sin will become a major sin. That is what will happen. Oh, my Allah is so forgiving, I don't need to just look at this woman, I can have zina with her. When my Allah can forgive so much, let me satisfy myself totally. That is not the time to look at how merciful Allah is. After you have perpetrated, and for some reason or the other, we are humans, we succumb to the evil forces within us. At times it happens, we do succumb. We give in. We don't know why we committing it, why we perpetrating it. But for some reason we succumb to that evil force. After the sin, yes, reflect over the mercy of Allah. Do not despair. But never to think of the mercy of Allah prior to committing a sin. That's not the time. So the devil plans everything, and he reminds you of how forgiving Allah is also. And he promises you do this. فَلَمَّا كَفَرْ, when you make kufr, when you make zina, when you take that pill, and after you become sober, such depression engulfs your heart. What does the Quran say? وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. The support, the encouragement, the person standing with you and provoking you with the devil, as soon as you perpetrate, he withdraws. The Quran says, خَنَّاسِ مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ. Khannas, oh Allah, I seek your evil from the sneaking whisperer who comes, sneaks, withdraws, sneaks, withdraws. So after you've perpetrated the crime, he withdraws totally. I'm not with you. Now you do what you, inni akhafullah, I got nothing to do with you. Now you, tough luck to you, my friend. You did it, you suffer it. The only way I can join you again is if you go back to that woman. If you take the pill again, I stand with you. Hence, you will see a person committed a crime to satisfy himself. One after the other. He went deeper and deeper, deeper. You know, like they have that bungee jumping, you flow one way. He goes deeper and deeper into that sin, and there's no way he's coming back. Life looks so dark for him, there's no way out. In the battle of Badr, Shaitan came to Abu Sufyan in the form of Suraqa as the leader of the tribe of Kinana, and he told him, وَإِذَا زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ وَأَعْمَالَهُمْ وَقَالَ لَا غَالِبَ لَكُمُ الْيَوْمَ مِنَ النَّاسِ وَإِنِّي جَارٌ لَكُمْ. I am with you. Don't worry, I will support you, I will encourage you, I will help you, you will defeat the Muslims. فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَتِ الْفِئَتَانِ. But when reality stared and the two armies met with one another, نَكَسَ عَلَىٰ عَقِبَيْهِ, as is the nature of the devil, he withdraws and he fled the battle. So Abu Sufyan asked him, Oh Suraqa, where are you? You promised me, you encouraged me, you motivated me. قَالَ إِنِّي, what did he say? نَكَسَ عَلَىٰ عَقِبَيْهِ وَقَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنْكُمْ إِنِّي أَرَى مَا لَا تَرَوْنَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. No, I can see divine angels coming. I've got nothing. You involved, you suffer the consequences. So that is the result of depression that will come as guna. It will never come to an end. And scholars write, worse than that sin is four things. أَرْبَعٌ بَعْدَ الذَّنْبِ شَرٌّ مِّنَ الذَّنْبِ الْإِسْتِصْغَارِ وَالْإِسْتِبْشَارِ وَالْإِغْرَارِ. After committing that sin, to consider it as trivial is worse than the sin. After committing the sin, to rejoice over the sin. That you rejoice over the calamity you have done, over the sin you have perpetrated. Nabi alayhi salam says in the hadith, كُلُّ أُمَّتِي مُعَافًا إِلَّا الْمُجَاهِرِينَ. Allah is prepared to forgive every person, with the exception of those that sin openly. With the exception of those that sin openly. And amongst those that are guilty of sinning openly are people who sin by night secretly. They sin by night, وَقَدْ بَاتَ يَسْتُرُهُ رَبُّهُ. And Allah conceals the man's sin. He does a sin, commits zina, takes a pill, does whatever wrong. And then in the morning he gets up and he doesn't rest until he doesn't unveil the veil of Allah. And he goes and says, I enjoyed this woman and I had this wine to bring this pleasure. Such a man has committed a crime which is unpardonable in the eyes of Allah. So contentment comes from Allah. It comes on the obedience of Allah.